Okay. Good morning, teachers, nationwide and abroad, who continuously watching us every Saturday. Again, we welcome you for another series of webinar for the month of August. And today we prepare you an exciting topic to discuss for series one, and that is teaching tools, embracing STEAM learning in the Academe. Plus, we will be launching a book from the authors of the Philippine Robotics Academy. But before that, let's have a message and a prayer from the head pastor of Jesus the Bread of Life Church, Pastor Sunny Medina. Pastor Sunny, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
A powerful morning, everyone. Once again, hello, Sir Wax, and also everyone. A powerful morning to all. Once again, the Lord is good and is really, really good in our life. Today, once again, we have a very interesting topic: embracing STEAM learning in the academe. So today, I was assigned again to pray, but before I pray, I would like to share to you the Word of God. Um, what struck to me in our learning today is the word learning, embrace learning. The Word of God says um, in Proverbs chapter 9, verse 9, instruct the wise and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous and they will add to their learning. In Proverbs chapter 16, verse 16, how much better it is to get wisdom than gold and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. So embrace learning. So habang buhay tayo po ay maraming natututunan. Habang tayo po nabubuhay, natututo po tayo. Therefore, learning is limitless. So we keep on learning every day. Alam nyo, yung maraming alam, yung taong matanong. Kapag matanong, marami siyang nalalaman. You know, we can be fool for a minute by asking, but we can be wise forever. And most of all, we have to learn from God, and we have to learn from the Word of God. And it says in Proverbs 22, chapter 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Because the Lord says in Matthew 11, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So keep on learning and learn from God and from His Word. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you, O Lord, for those knowledge that you already given to us, O God. And we are asking for wisdom, O Lord. Lord, as we continue this webinar, this live webinar, we pray, O God, that you will give more wisdom and knowledge, O Lord, to our speaker, to our resource speaker, Mr. Peter Hydak and Miss Isabel Menjola. Thank you, O Lord, for Chairman Benson, Wax Benson, and also, Lord, for Miss Jenelu Pangilinan and Ma'am Mylene Aviva, and to all, Lord, who supported this group, oh God, thank you very much, oh Lord. Be with us this day, and everybody will be blessed, and we will learn more about this topic, oh God. Thank you. To you all the glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor Sunny, for that wonderful prayer for our webinar today. And of course, no, we will not. This will not be possible without Ma'am Maylene Aviva, who's with us also. Ma'am Maylene, magandang umaga po. Good morning.
Good
And
morning.
of course, Jen Lu is also with us. Ma'am Jen, good morning, Ma'am Jen.
Good morning, Ma'am Jen. Good
Good
morning,
Yes,
morning.
Ma'am
good
Jen.
morning.
Salita ako
Good
ng
morning.
salita, naka-mute pala ako,
Oh.
sorry.
So what do we have today for today? What do we have for today?
We have action-packed and powerful morning today. We have our guests all the way from the United States who will be joining us again for another session for the Arduino classroom and the Gearbox kits. And before we do that, I'd like to now introduce our guests from all the way from Gearbox Labs, United States, from Wisconsin. Please welcome Mr. Peter Haydock and Isabel Mendiola.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Now they are here for us to introduce the Arduino Classroom, which we can also use in our homes. And now let's all watch the video, which will demonstrate all the features of the Gearbox Labs and the Arduino Classroom. And then we will come back to Peter and Isabel as they will be answering questions for us and also showing the features and the kits that will be used for the Arduino Classroom. So let's enjoy this video. Now, may we ask you to show some of the features in the Arduino Classroom? Can you show us the kit?
Sure. So the first kit that I will show you it's called the mini kit. And this is one project in the box with many possibilities. In the box, you're going to get a microcontroller for programming, the breadboard for connecting your projects up, a whole lot of wires for doing the connections, and in this case, the LEDs for lighting up the project. This is one of the projects from our book, the Arduino Classroom, called Lighting Effects. So we've got the whole book here, but this is project 2 out of the book. And like I said, it's got a lot of options for you to build, one LED, 2 LEDs, or 3, and then do various programming skills with it in terms of turning on lights on and off in different combinations. It's a great project to introduce basic programming skills. We have 2 other mini kits, one for sound and one for an RGB LED as well.
That's great, Peter. I think it's time for us to answer questions that our viewers may have. Jenny Lou, can you lead us?
Yeah, so on the comment box, they're barely waking up. They're saying good morning, good morning, good morning, and inspiring day to all. Okay, I like that inspiring day. So before I had the questions, uh, let me start while we're waiting for the other people to ask. Uh, we have the kits, right? So in the Philippines, there's a lot of people and institutions who wants to avail of the kit but cannot do a 1:1 ratio of the kit, right? Due to the pandemic, we're not even allowed to go to the lab to get the kit if we have them. So are there any projects with Gearbox that enables kids to still do the hands-on with your curriculum plus the kit? It's like a virtual plus kit plus, or like they have options to choose from. What are their options?
It's a great question. So every one of our projects starts with a virtual experience where they built with Tinkercad or another program called Fritzing. So they can learn the skills, the coding, they can work with the objects again in virtual. And then you had a session on Tinkercad the last time.
Yeah.
So it's a great skill to have. So if they can't get the kit immediately, then they can do that. But yes, you need the physical kit at some point to build
Yeah.
with the microcontrollers. And like you in the Philippines, we are working on in the United States those same kinds of how do you get the kit to the customer. And Mylene, I think you can answer that question, how you're going to interact in the Philippines for the physical kit.
Yes, well, right now we have just recently signed a contract with Shopee. So in the future, in the near
Shopee.
future, in the next few weeks, yes, it will be available online. Only the mini kits though, not the school kits. So just for the parents to
Okay.
be able to use it in their homes. So just the mini kits, yes.
Uh-huh. So it's good for, it's open to all, right? Like you can
Yes, it's
just
open
buy
to
it off.
all.
Okay.
Yes,
And
and
it,
then it comes with free shipping.
oh, okay. Oh, free shipping to me plus free item for me too. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, I have one more question. So on the, so you have the online platform plus another, what was the other site that you mentioned? Krypton, what is it?
Fritzing.
Okay. So is it something they have to purchase or is it free?
So it's
It's
free. We
free.
have a link on our website. It's some software to download, but it's a
Oh
free
yeah.
platform.
Oh,
The mini,
also if they can work on it offline.
Yes, we
yes,
can do that, Miss Jen. So another,
Yeah.
we can do the Arduino classroom with the Krypton. Yeah,
yeah.
because we only
Oh,
know
okay.
about the Tinkercad.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you
the
know everything that's free is like music to our ears, right?
all of the mini projects work with Fritz, not Fritz, excuse me. They all work with Tinkercad. So that's why we designed the mini kits. They all work with
Mhm.
Tinkercad.
So
Yeah, that was
Tinkercad
a
is complete. So you're saying, Peter, that Tinkercad is more complete than Krypton, right?
Yes, yeah.
mm,
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Right. And then I'd
No,
like also
it's the other
to
way
ask a
around.
question, right? So to get the ball rolling.
Mhm.
That we know for a fact that in the Philippines, Arduino parts are very common and very cheap. However, can you show us what are the sensors and the parts that are patented in by the Gearbox Labs, so that they
Sure.
know that the Gearbox Labs is different from those that are being sold very cheap
Mhm.
in the Philippines,
Yeah, yeah. There's some white label kits that they can buy here, right?
Yeah.
right? And even the motherboard is being sold very cheap. So these ones
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that we have here for Gearbox Labs is very good quality and it will last them a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So an example of a is the MQ4. This is a sensor that we're having built just for us. This is a highly durable version. Some of the MQ4s are frankly very inexpensive and they break after one use or
Mm-hmm.
two uses. The gas gets in and causes a problem inside. But these are industrial grade sensors that we use. Um, the servos that we also use, these are ones that are made for us. We have a company that makes them for us. These have metal parts on the inside, so they last 20, 30,000 revolutions. Very easy to work with, but very, again, um, uh, high quality. Um, Another example in the book here, this is the sound sensor. Um, and these are ones in the video that Isabel was showing just a minute ago. This is another sound sensor that we have made for us. Again, high quality microphone, industrial level connections in it. So again, it will last thousands of uses. Very easy to program and work with. Um, One of the other sensors that we use, you saw in the video with Isabel, is this soil moisture sensor. And again, we work with a company that builds them for us. A lot of soil moisture sensors, the minute they get wet, they rust and they stop working. One or two uses and they break. Ours are all gold plated so that they last. You can actually leave them inside a plant for weeks at a time and measure constant data from the soil moisture. So those are some examples of what we've got. Over my shoulder, we've got this is the pH sensor. We have those built again for us. The pH sensor that Isabel showed you, these are again industrial level sensors. They work, they don't fall apart, they're easy to calibrate and code. So those are unique to us. No one else in the world is using those.
Mm-hmm. So those are good for outdoors too, right? 'Cause
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have students in our kit. We actually provide this little battery barrel connector. You hook a 9-volt battery. All of our
uh-huh.
projects are portable. You can take them outside. You can do the sensors, all of those activities with a 9-volt battery. Again, kind of a unique operation. Um, the one thing I like to brag about with our kit, one of the projects you make a musical keyboard.
Wow.
And the musical keyboard, you want your keyboard to work. When you press the button, it works and the sound comes out. So we use this special button here for pressing to make the notes on it. This button is, again, it's industrial level. We actually go to a car manufacturer here in the United States to have these buttons. They will last 100,000 pushes. So again, nobody else in the world has these kind of buttons in their kits.
That's great. So the actually what we're saying actually is that there's quality should be quality for the Arduino kits. Is not just throw away. And actually, we are helping the environment because if you throw away all those parts, it will all accumulate in your schools eventually, and it adds on to
Waste.
waste. Yeah, waste
Yeah,
issues that we have. Right.
Every one of these parts were tested in Isabel's classroom for 5 years. Through
Oh, wow.
hundreds of students used these parts. We know that every one of these work, and like Mylene, you said, we're not throwing pieces and parts away after one use or two use and reordering.
Actually, the parts that I'm using for testing my prototypes are the kits that I was using when I was working. So the ones
Oh,
that
wow.
I'm using are still there. So
So this is
Nice,
really a
nice.
good reassurance that kids will bang it, chew on it,
Yeah.
hopefully not. Right.
Then I like that how they customize the base where the mini copper clads because they some of the ones you buy it has protruding pins and they have the JST ports, right? So it's easier to connect and even younger kids can use them because it's not
yeah,
very
difficult.
because kids would bend it or would sit on it because they're not, you know, kids are kids. They're not very careful on those little things that makes the kit last as well. So, yeah,
Yeah.
were the cable ports customized proprietary or just the regular JST connectors that we can buy somewhere?
So these are the ports are standard within the industry, but then they're
Okay.
industrial in terms. So yes, if
Yeah.
heaven forbid one of these cables breaks, you actually can find replacements for them easily.
Okay. Yeah, that was my problem with some kits that were given to me by other companies that for testing because they do send me stuff to evaluate. And when it comes from Colombia, for example, and then it breaks, and then I can't find any. Like, how can I
Yeah,
ship from
Yes.
the Philippines? So those things
yeah,
things like that. It's good to hear that the parts can be found
Yeah,
yeah,
very.
nice.
yeah. We've
And then
we've worked,
yes,
we've
we'll be
worked very
building.
hard with our suppliers.
Yes, that's right. And then we'll be building accessories, supplies as well, because we know that we need to service the kits after the school
Yeah,
has
yeah.
used it. Yeah, they'll be
And
losing
then,
some parts.
And
That's what
Yeah,
happens
yeah, and
in
they'll be needing more,
everything
you
with the
know.
new education kits. You have
Hmm.
to service the parts. They
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
eventually some parts will be lost,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And do we
Nice.
have
That's good.
questions? More questions for Peter and Isabel?
Um, they don't have yet.
I think we should ask questions about the curriculum. Okay, I
Oh
have a
yeah.
question about the curriculum because we know that there are not that many. In fact, you're the only company that we know that has a curriculum for Arduino, and
Mm.
that's really a fantastic feat, Peter and Isabel. Can you show us or explain to us more about the curriculum, how it's organized, and actually what
sure.
we'll be doing in the Philippines is we're going to uh, roll it out in by levels so
Okay.
that it will be
Mm.
more relevant depending on the level, right?
So the book has many features to it, and Mylene, like you said, the projects are leveled. You have the ability to do introduction, intermediate, and advanced skills, and we provide that. I apologize for kind of holding up the book, but all the levels are listed here, how long it takes, and then what kinds of science and engineering applications those projects will work with. Um, the book is actually written a little bit like a cookbook. So if you've ever worked with a book where you're learning how to do a skill for the first time,
Yeah.
um, so just our first project is a great example. The first page of the book, here are all the things that you might want to know. But if you want to go right into the project, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your materials list. You're ready to go. And then we have markers in the book that tell you, oh, if you don't know how to do this, go to page 16 and you can acquire that skill. So if you want to start, like in a cooking analogy, if you want to bake the cake right away, oh, but I don't know how to measure, it points you right back.
That's great.
That's
So
nice.
that even parents can follow.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah.
We
Fantastic.
tested the book with hundreds of 5th grade students and just said, take the book and try it yourselves. Students can learn on their own. The parents can work with them at the table, especially in this time of the virus. And then we've got great features throughout the book that talk about how this technology or how this coding applies to the real world. So
Yes.
you're not learning something just to know it, but here's the application.
Okay,
Wow.
I have a question. Is there a PDF version, a soft copy version that they can purchase or something like that?
Mylene,
No. Well, no, at this point, we know that
I
because
know.
of copyright issues, even if it's in PDF format, we need to protect the authors, which is
Yeah.
Peter and Isabel. So at the moment, we're only going to be making it available in printed or hard copy.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They were asking.
someday we will have a version that can be accessed online that does protect the copyright, but
I know.
for now, it is just the book. Again, our conversations when we wrote the book a year ago, most people wanted a physical book like you're cooking in the kitchen. They wanted something to turn and flip over and work with, not another screen to look at. So
Yeah,
that was
I like the book too. Scrolling makes me dizzy. Like scrolling up and down. Like what? And then I cannot mark it.
yeah, yeah.
It would be nice if we have an LMS that goes with the gearbox, huh? The where students can sign in and teachers can actually have a class in it, like Tinkercad, something like that.
It's coming. It is coming. We're working on that.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
well, you beat me to that question that Felta will be launching an LMS, and we can include that. So you don't have to have your own. So we just include
Mhm.
it as one of our content. This is going to be in partnership also with Microsoft. So
Excellent.
That's nice.
yeah, since we're a Microsoft global training partner, so it's all going to be a global ecosystem.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yes,
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited.
yes. Okay. So any more questions, Miss Jen?
I think I don't see any. Maybe they're satisfied very, but we'll see. Sometimes teachers are like students. They ask after the class.
If
What,
I could share one more feature of the book, I
sure,
think
sure.
is important
Of
for
course.
teachers. So every project, and I apologize, we're going to hold up the pages again. Every project ends with what I call the blue pages. These are questions, and then the facing page are the answers to questions that extend the learning. So students are really challenged, and the teachers are challenged to take what they've learned and do something new. This is the innovation pages. We challenge the student to take the project and do something different, how they might go about it, and then apply that in the real world. So again, it's not just learning a technology or a code for its sake, but really, how does it apply in your world, and how can you change it? How can you be creative with it?
Okay, I have one question. One more. Sorry, I have
Sure.
so much questions. Okay, so the curriculum is one book, right? But there's no teacher manual and then a student handout, or it goes together.
It's woven together.
Okay.
But as
Yeah.
we already discussed with Peter and Isabel that Felta will be able to use modules. So it will be broken down
Mhm.
to certain modules because, like, if I'm teaching elementary level, I don't need the
Yeah.
higher projects. So it will
Right.
be
Right.
broken down to
Yeah,
specific modules
yeah.
for the grade level.
Okay.
Okay.
We're very excited by that. how you're going to take the book apart and customize it for the Philippines.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we'll do that. We're a publisher, so I mean,
I know, right?
we that's our thing. So we will be able to do that, and
Yeah.
also not to lose the essence of the content. I think,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think what it has to be done is to make it seamless, so that if I'm an elementary school teacher and I want to teach perhaps junior high school, if I'm going to be promoted or so on, I can still have that same kind of seamless instruction for my students.
Yes.
So I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have all the questions answered.
Yeah, I think so. And if I have some more, I'll PM you guys.
Yes.
Sounds good. Thank
That's
you.
Yeah.
great.
So, do you have any final words for our audience, for our viewers, Peter and Isabel? We know it's very late now in the US, so
I know.
Now, we would like to thank you for having us. It is always fantastic talking to you and sharing well what we have built here. And yeah, I mean, we are here. So if there are more questions, please.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk and present. We're glad to have a good internet connection this time.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
We are
right.
really here to help you and the Philippines work with Arduino. So we wish everybody the best. And good morning.
Good morning and
Yeah.
good evening to you.
Good
And
evening to
for the
you.
audience that we have, if you have questions, just email Felta Multimedia
Yep.
Incorporate Inc at gmail.com. Sir Wax will put it in the frame
In
so that you
the
can just
frame,
email
the
us.
banner. Mm-hmm.
Yes, in the banner so that we can answer your questions. And then we will be conducting, we will be talking to Peter and Isabel. We'll be conducting webinars, hands-on webinars also. Once you have the mini kits,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
first have the kits so that we can do the hands-on. So we'll make that available for you. It's just fresh out of the oven, isn't it, Peter? Just a few
I
weeks ago.
know.
Just a few weeks. Yes.
Get it
Yeah.
back, get in the Philippines first. Yeah. Yeah, so we have to get it in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, let's say thank you
Okay.
Thank you.
and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Peter and Isabel, now you can sleep.
Yep.
We'll be talking soon again. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye. Go back to
Sir
Miss
Wax. Yeah.
now, Miss
Let's
Jen.
let's look at where Sir Wax is. Sir Wax, can you put email the
Can you
email
write
ad
that
of
in the
Felta?
private chat?
Oh, okay. So in the comment, yeah, I will type it.
Okay. Okay, so as we continue our webinar sa ating pong mga audience, sa ating mga viewers po, no, we will also be having a book launching from the Philippine Robotics Academy. So later we'll be introducing to you the authors of the book, no, and that is from Philippine Robotics Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, for those who want to ask questions, kindly post that in the comment box. Then we'll give you answers no, after reading that, and we will mention your name so that we can answer your questions. Okay, Ma'am Jen. So
Okay.
are we going to introduce now the authors?
Mamay, nakamute ka.
Not yet. We will first have
Okay.
Miss
Have the ano
talk
muna.
about
Okay.
the teaching tools of the Tinkercad. Oh, excited tayo masyado. So,
Oo nga,
Okay.
excited. Gusto na miss ko
they're
yung mga friends
in the
ko eh.
studio,
Mga
but
friends ko kasi yung authors. Okay,
sige,
so
so
but
it's Jen.
I'll go in next. Okay, so the features I'm going to present will be on. Let me share my screen first. So I have Sir Wax. Kita mo.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Ayan. Okay, so I was searching and I was thinking of making it ayan, Tinkercad lang sana because the problem with some of the tools we use is that we have the app but then some of the parts are not there. So I was hoping we can have more resources so we are not stuck with just one platform. So at the end of the our during the discussion, I have some sites that I wanted to share. Plus, I have teacher tricks and tips on how to engage in STEM. So we have to embrace STEAM learning in the most difficult way we can for this year, because it's so hard to teach skills without having physical contact with the material. So for now, what we can do is do distance learning, and I have a few resources that I would share with you. But before that, um, let's start with the teacher tips and resources. Okay, so I found this blog by Anne's blog, which is a STEAM teacher. There are 13 traits of great STEM teachers. So the problem with STEM, that is distance learning, is we can't do mini tasks, but we can still do that if we can do research based projects. The first thing that we need to consider is to engage kids in selecting real world problems. There are curriculums available, like what Gearbox have shared with us. There are websites available, but it's not just the resource that you find, it's how you use the resource. So we have to keep it engaging enough that students will be able to get the problem solving techniques, which is very fundamental to STEAM learning. Kids should pick a problem that interests them, and or we guide them, or we try to feel are which of the options are they interested in. We cannot overimpose. First of all, it's they're far, and we cannot do even group work. But if we can at least maintain the momentum that they have, we can make them be more challenging to the students, so they will keep doing what we want them, or we hope for them to do. The second is we cannot work alone. So later we will meet the authors, and if you are part of the Philippine Robotics Academy or the groups, it's really, really, really helpful for us to be acquainted with professionals and non-professionals, especially those who are teachers in math or science that you are not teaching. So we have to integrate the subjects. I call this functional literacy. We have to plan for digital technology only when it's appropriate. We cannot always do full technology. We have to be adaptable to change. It's hard to impose something that not everyone is capable of. So parang we need to meet the human need before we give them the IQ behind the lessons. It has to be uh, not a read or view activity only. So if we are planning to start integrating STEAM in our curriculum, regardless of what we teach, we have to have kids engage in meaningful research and knowledge acquisition. It doesn't have to be reading it. It can be something that they can do outside the house, just by the backyard, or it can be something that they watch. It doesn't have to go away. It can be something that they read, but it has to be something that they would really do research skills or acquire or develop research skills. Oops. So as we do transition to the new normal, it was so hard before in the classroom to manage, because especially if we have smaller kids, but it's like super super small kids like K to 3, but for 4 to 6 to 8, it's manageable because they are still fearful and they still follow rules, most of them. But for junior to senior high to university, they have their own mindset. So the proper enabling of teachers in terms of management is a challenge, especially now that um, we are doing online courses. We do not know if when we are discussing there are still students behind the profile picture of their video. Okay, so management in terms of helping the kids manage themselves. There should be embedded responsibility, how to teach them to be responsible digital natives now. And they were saying kids nowadays are millennials, digital natives. But the problem was they know how to use technology, but they don't see it as an opportunity to learn. They are trying to be users and promoters of technology, but not the promoters of the learning experience. Not most of them are promoters of the learning experience enough to encourage other kids to join. So we have to manage teams effectively so they can manage themselves. Another thing that we want to for teachers or educators to think about is, are we teaching the kids to ask the right questions? So I have a policy in my class that says ask three before me. So if you have three people, you ask them first. If you have asked three people or persons, but you don't get the answers yet, after all those people that you've asked, then it's the time for you to ask me. So it's gonna lessen the burden on the part of the teacher, because before the question gets to you, it's already answered by other people. So yeah, they need to know how to ask the right question, not even just ask it to a discussion, but typing the right search questions online, if whatever browser they're using, so they can get the desired um, information for the researches. Okay. So this is another issue that we want to present. Uh, we should act as a learning facilitator, not a presenter of information. We don't. Sometimes we know what the kids need, but we are encouraged not to give them it. They have to discover. We have a teacher continuum on this. I found this in of course in the search, so Google as well. So there are levels. We have the lecturer, where teachers stand and deliver and students listen and take notes. And we have the instructor that drives the lesson, and we have the facilitator. So before we were saying, oh, we were instructors and or just facilitators. It comes in two different layers actually. So as instructors, we give the directions. As facilitators, we manage the group. And as coaches, we are pinpointing specific needs, and students work on different units and tasks. So we have to find the perfect balance between when are we going to be a lecturer, when are we going to be an instructor, and when will we just facilitate and watch them grow, and when do we need to coach them based on an expected output. Okay? Again, don't tell the kids what they need to discover. Let them think for themselves. There has to be discovery and the eureka moment in there. Okay, another thing that we are presenting is um, learning by mistake is helpful. So we have to convince the kids to accept failure as normal, and it is necessary for the process of learning. Failure to succeed on solving problem is an opportunity to try again. So we will be it's we should tell the kids it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to not get it right on the first time. There should be room for improvement, and it's gonna increase the chances of success if kids will do trial and error and discovery on the process. Okay. So students should be able to we should be able to allow kids to debug. So when we let them look at the problem, let's make sure that they know that what one kid's solution is, it's not always the right one, or it's not just the right one. There may be more than one possible solution, and maybe more than one right answer. Okay. Um, medyo mahaba, no? So, what we are encouraging teachers also is to make sure that the learning process takes place in an engineering design or design thinking process. So they are two different processes. This year, I've shared a lot of design thinking. I love design thinking because it has empathy in there, and engineering process is the same thing, but it's more structured. So remember to make sure that for each project or each learning experience, we have to build empathy. We have to make kids think of the end user or end beneficiaries of their projects, and help them see STEAM learning as an opportunity to practice what they preach, and share it to other people. Okay. There is also another thing that we have to help the kids understand and decide on criteria and constraint. When do we consider variables as criteria, and when do we consider variables are as constraints? And how do we criticize, how do we plan actions? How do students make decisions based on specific criteria or based on specific constraints, and how to overcome them? So if you are going to look at this upper right hand corner, there's a step 2, criteria and constraints. So design criteria are requirements you specify for your design that will be used to make decisions about how to build the product. So sometimes let's remind kids and our students or big kids that there are things we have to accept as a fact that we cannot overcome, but we have to make something or do something about, and that it's okay to make mistakes. That's why it's healthy to always engage kids in STEAM learning, because they are more empathetic and they are more creative thinker and logical thinkers as well. Okay. This is the part that it's really hard for us now, because of course learning by doing is always a requirement for STEAM learning. Maybe at some point within the year, or in the future after this pandemic, we will be able to come together again and experience the joy of doing hands-on. I believe personally that STEAM learning is the minimum must be two. Sometimes it helps for those for individual learning experiences, but it's always nice to see or hear other people's opinion on stuff, and we are not all uh, we don't have the same multiple intelligences and the levels. Okay. Data is essential, especially during the problems that they have encountered, and they will have to make decisions. The power of numbers is really important. There has to be analysis of the test results, and the test results must be done planned. Sometimes students are not guided, and the teachers have not prepared them to do careful analysis. It's not enough that we see numbers. What's important is, are we getting the right numbers for the specific purpose? And after getting the data, it's not enough to present the data. It's more important to analyze the data and make decisions based on the data gathered. Okay. Lead teams to plan for redesign and understand that problem solving is an ongoing process. So it's not always perfect, but there's always a chance to improve. Uh, my problem with my students before is they delete the draft and they overwrite their progress, and then they wanted to go back and they forgot. So I always save the master program where I started from, and then save as, and then make sure that my kids know how to save a master copy and then a revised copy, because over time and over experience they will see many draft efforts, sabi nga dito. They will have to do it with by themselves, and they will have to do it with other people, and sometimes they will have to present it to other people so they can start something. So STEAM learning is the preparation of teachers in making sure that the teaching and learning process is very effective. The preparation is just too much, but it's always going to be worth it. And as you prepare, let's see how I can help you. I have listed here some websites. You can take a photo of this, or I can share it with you later. I have CK12. CK12 is free. It's like you can make an account, something like this. So I have one. Those that are boxed in blue are all for STEAM learning. And what's good here is there's social studies, and there's translations into different languages. There's also there's a lot of math and science in it, and it's the math in here is presented by grade level, so it's really nice. You should check this out. And you can set up classes also. It's like Google Classroom, but it's more subject specific. We have Cyber Chase by PBS Kids. What you have here is there's games, there's videos, there's activities that you can explore and share with the kids. There's also coding in here and other STEM related things. We have NASA Kids Club. So I always use this every time I have an event with the Solar System Ambassador Program. If you go in the website, you are going to see worksheets that are readily available where you can download. Let me share with you. I think I can share with you this. We have, so this is the website for NASA. I will exert a little effort here because I use this. Okay, so on the downloads tab, you can have the apps, the ebooks. So let's look at the ebooks. Okay, it's already here. And you just have to click. Okay, and there's a lot of earth science and other physics concepts in here. Okay, and other NASA projects. It's easy. You can download. You can even download posters for your online classrooms, and you can download and ask them to be printed to post on your actual classrooms when you go back to your stations. Okay, code.org is another thing. If you look at the code.org's website, there are courses. It starts from non-reader, from pre-K all the way to university level. So if you see, I already started some here in the Philippines. I have as far as Mindanao and my classes for the training. So it's user friendly. We have a lot of resources for code.org, and they have offline versions too if you want to do coding in here. It's fun. Okay, let me see next. I found this, and this is Go For It Egypt. Let me see what it looks like. Okay, so I don't have a flash. So there is aerospace, there's agriculture. Let me zoom in. Okay, there's aerospace, just like the NASA thing, but I would go for NASA for more aerospace activities and resources. There's agriculture, there's architecture. So if you want to do bio, there's also bio in here. Chem, there's civil engineering, there's computers, there's electrical, there's environmental, just like how we do sustainability. There's manufacturing, so it's like a rolled into one resource. There are free. Okay, so if I have university people in the FB, I mean the YouTube live, this one is good for you. These are high level, some of it. You can also go to pet simulations. So what are the pet simulations? I forgot to include this. I just remembered. Let me see. Okay, so for the simulations, if you cannot do labs, you can go here. You can donate if you want, but it's free. You have these subjects. We have physics, chemistry, math, earth science, biology, all sims and translated simulations. Let's go for all simulations. If you look here, and my internet is not gonna give up on me, I would see. And okay, I'll go back to that and let's see. Maybe it's gonna load in a while. I'll go for the other few. There's a few more. There's also, oh wait, that's the last one, I believe. Okay, let's go back there. Okay, here. So the subjects that are included are physics. So those are teaching motion, sound waves, work, energy, heat, quantum phenomena, light and radiation, electricity, magnets, and circuits. So if you are going to use this online, for example, you're going to do math. There's math in here. If you are going to do acid and base solutions, let me show you. It's free. For the HTML file, you can download. See, look, I can download it here. And what I can do is embed it into my Google Classroom or wherever. I can click on it. Let me see. So it's loading simulations for your students to practice. Online, they can do this. Instead of setting up a lot of petri dishes and flash, this one is easier to use. Let me see. Internet slow as ever. So while it's loading, they'll go back to NASA. You can also do worksheets here before I forget. Search nothing. Okay, these are from the JPL program that I belong. You can click on those worksheets and it's gonna load and you can print it in my simulation. Okay, there you go. So I can click on the introduction and I can change it and it's going to change. I can see the graph. I can see it. So let's say this is my water. So if I'm going to dip it, it's showing me numbers. So I can do the litmus paper. I can do this. So what's gonna happen? Okay, so you can manipulate. So this is what's fun in this website. Let me see what other things it has. Okay, so if we do maths, there's 158 of these in there. Grab nyo na lang kung ano ang applicable sa inyong, oops, sorry, dito tayo. Math applications. And you can choose by grade level pala. You can have elementary, mid-school, high school, and university. If we look at the elementary, okay, of course, it looks like this. Ayan, projectile. And then if you look at mid-school, gusto ko mid-school lang. Okay, there's resistance. So if you can also use it in teaching. And then what if we have university level? Ayan. Iba-iba na. Okay, waves then. And then this, the Ohm's law, of course, which is very helpful in your STEAM learning. So there are a lot. What you need is just pick and choose which one is applicable to your setups and for your classes and how long. I don't think the simulations, the downloading is taking a lot of the data from their phones, but of course they can choose to just try it. Okay, so while it's loading, Sir Wax, may tanong? Sir Wax, nandiyan ka ba?
Wala pa po tayong tanong. But sa
Mm.
ating mga viewers, if you are interested for all the different teaching tools that we are presenting, now you can ask questions. Kindly put that question in the comment box so we can
Mm-mm.
ask Ma'am Jen what to
Oo,
do with
yung
that tools.
yung mga nakita nyo, like ito, pag tinaas ko yung voltage, anong mangyayari? So, nagpapalit yung mga data, no? Para pag ginamit nila sa classroom, hindi na kailangan bilhin yung mga lab tools. Invest na lang natin sa mga kits na walang simulations. Makakatipid na sila ng konti.
Right now, we just have to make do with simulations since wala pang face-to-face. But
Opo.
eventually, as Miss Jen has mentioned, talagang it's so difficult to teach STEAM without hands-on, minds-on. You know,
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
it's but then we just have to adjust for the meantime
Mm-mm.
because of the current situation.
Pande. Mm-mm.
Ganda ng
Marami
mga,
namang simulation.
and thank you for all the resources, Miss Jen. I
Opo,
think
ang dami, sobra, sobra.
mm,
Tanungin nyo na lang din ako. Kasi pag, ang
Mm.
problema ko man pag sinabi ko dire-diretso, hindi, ang dami kasi, parang natataranta ako, baka makalimutan ko yung isa. So, I also have the page pala sa FB, pero hindi ko na maintain siya kasi ang daming nating gawaing bahay.
Okay.
busy sa
Pero,
plans.
Okay.
Plans mo, sa mga plans mo,
opo plans
sa mga
ko.
teaching mo,
Actually,
teaching.
this pandemic is dapat pala nagbotany ako before kasi sabi ko, pag minsan parang napapraning ako magturo kasi yung lumalabas yung pagka-STEAM teacher ko pag may bibili ng halaman, ina-explain ko yung principle, concept, bakit ganito, bakit ganyan. Sabi nila, bibili akong halaman, hindi ako magwo-work.
Alam mo, di bale, ano yan, maganda yon kasi it adds knowledge na nabibigyan mo ng knowledge yung mga bumibili ng halaman sa'yo, di ba? Ayun.
Opo. Tsaka yung ano ma'am, responsible use. Kasi responsible purchasing, yung sabi nyo nga kanina, if they keep buying the devices and they don't know how to protect on their investment, magiging a-waste. Same
Yeah.
thing with my plants. I took care of the plants. Kasi some of the plants I sell, I grew them talaga. I took care of it for a month or two. And then bigay ko sa'yo, 2 days lang pinatay mo na. Parang masakit naman. So I asked them, they do consultations muna. It's like, where will you
Ako,
put
hindi ako
them?
bibili
What
ng
kind of
halaman
pots?
sa'yo kasi wala akong green thumb. Baka
Ay, kaya
magalit.
nga ma'am. Yung iba, pinapatanim na
Wala akong
para
swerte sa halaman, pinapaubaya ko na lang sa iba. All right. So
Mahirap
thank
kasi.
you so much for all the sharing on the teacher tools.
Okay.
Our theme this month is really about helping teachers find tools that are
Yes.
Pa.
available and for them to use.
Okay,
All right.
again, thank you, Ma'am
Let's
Jen,
move on.
for sharing us the
Then,
different teaching tools that our teachers can use in their classroom. Malapit na po ang ating pasukan. It's already
Oo,
August.
kinakabahan ako for them.
So,
Ako yung kinakabahan.
as you prepare your classroom, all the teaching tools that we show to you today is very helpful para magamit po natin. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to introduce later our authors because as we mentioned, we will be having a book launching from the Philippine Robotics Academy. But before that, I'll be showing you a video.
all right. After
Okay.
before we we show the ebooks, and I think this time it should have audio. All right,
Mm.
apologies for that.
We
All right.
apologize.
Okay, our
Apologies.
first author is a master robotics trainer, and he's the current head coach of the elementary and high school robotics teams of Claret School of Quezon City. He is a senior high school technology teacher. He has served as the computer area head of the grade school and high school units of the Claret School of Quezon City. He is a management graduate from St. Joseph's College of Quezon City and is currently working or probably has finished his master's degree in SPED education at the New Era University. He has 20 years of teaching experience in computer education from preschool to high school. So may I introduce to you our first author, Mr. Roxanne Ruchilio Cosico.
Good
Hello,
morning,
Rox.
everyone. How are you? I hope everybody's doing okay. So, papakita po namin sa inyo ngayon na may ginawa kaming paraan para makakonect pa rin sa mga students natin. And we have our series of ebooks. Sir Wax, can we show the PowerPoint so that we can show them the titles of the series? Okay, can you play it? There you go. So for the ebook series, we have different titles for different grade levels. Starting off with grade one. Can you move on to our grade one ebook, Sir Wax? There you go. So the first one is called Work with Redo Spark. So ito po ay naka-focus on Redo. It's a Lego robot that is intended for younger age. So we have the following. So we have integrated it with science. So we have topics such as matter, living things, and non-living things. And also we get to compare humans and robots because robots were patterned after the movement of humans. So then we have the different Lego redo building activities, starting off with Milo. Okay, Milo is a rover similar to the Mars rover, and it's really fun to build. And then after that, we have other examples such as the life cycle of a frog. So you'll have a simulation wherein you build a frog from a tadpole and up to its mature age. Okay, so that is for grade one. Moving on, we now have Work with Redo Ignite. So this particular ebook is intended for grade two pupils. So we have here again, how does a robot move? As we compare it to human beings. But instead of arms, we have motors. And we will introduce in grade two sensors. As you know, humans have senses, but for robots, we have sensors. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the third one. For our activities, we have different hands-on and programming using the um, accompanying program for Redo Ignite. And it's very easy because it's all drag and drop method. Okay, next title, please. Here we have Work with Redo Flame. So this is for grade 3. So the topics covered here is about energy and the different types of energy. So we have the introduction to the different Lego education redo parts. the software, and we have four easy projects to begin with, such as programming and building glowing snail, a fan, and then a moving satellite and a spy robot. So these are activities that can be built in just a few minutes for the kids. Okay, next for the older kids, we have robots in today's world, Blaze. So this one features the EV3 robot. So this is one of the best learning activities to introduce robotics. So we have here the introduction or the history of robotics, the terms that are being used in robotics, and of course, the applications. So, how do you apply robots in real life? So, we have it covered here. So, and then also, we introduce a new set of sensors and the way how it's programmed. We use the Lego EV3 Mindstorm. Okay, and one more. We now have the robots in today's world, Wildfire. So this is for grade 5 students. Again, we have introduction to the EV3 brick. The brick is the brain of the computer, or rather the robot, and you connect the sensors and motors into the brick, and of course you have different ways of coding. And here we introduce more advanced programming techniques such as loops and switches. So this will be a very interesting way of learning because we will be using the virtual robotics toolkit. So it doesn't mean that since we don't have our laboratories, we also end up learning or we stop learning about robotics. Now we have a different platform. Okay, so guys, check out these books, and it's available at Felta. Thank you very much for the introduction of the ebook series for elementary. Back to
Very
you.
much. Yes, Sir Rox. Okay, we will be calling him back later for questions and answers. He will be part of the panel. If you have any questions and answers, questions that they would like to answer. Now, our next author is also a master robotics teacher and a certified TESDA trainer with a background in computer engineering and electronics, with TESDA National Certificate 2 in mechatronics servicing and computer hardware servicing. He is one of the pioneers of the Philippine robotics education, a co-founder of the Philippine Robotics Academy, and currently serving as president of the Philippine Robotics Society. He introduced robotics education in Ateneo Grade School in 2014, and since then, the PS and MSCOCA Robotics Club moderator. He was also the robotics educator coach of LaSalle Green Hills from 2003 for more than 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next author. Please welcome Gilbert C. Zamora.
Hello. Hello, guys. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning. I am here to present my book for the Philippine Robotics Academy. So let me share my screen first. Sir Wax. Okay.
So
All right.
Gilbert is still the current Philippine Robotics Society president. And if you want to join, please just contact Felta.
All right. So, okay. Um, can you see my screen now? All right. So, let me first launch my PowerPoint. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? I think it's not. Sir Wax, can you please
Yes,
full
yes, I see it
there?
now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. All right. So, uh, please allow me first to uh, reiterate that the Philippine Robotics Academy was founded for the benefit of the Filipino children in doing robotics. Please allow me to use my slides. So my slide is for the first slide. I have my introduction. I am not aware that there will be an introduction by Mamalin. So let me just move forward to it. Okay. All right. Okay. So my book is the Discovery, Builder EV3, Exploration, and Achievement. So these three books are actually appropriated for grades 5, 6, and 7. But then it may also be used by beginners for EV3, considering that in the first part of my book, here's a screenshot of my table of contents. For every book, the first part always starts with the basic intro, which for beginners can be used as a starter and also a reviewer for those who are already knowledgeable in EV3. And then each book is equipped with an element survey, which from my experience is very important and very useful for children to identify and examine each element in the kit. And since it's colored, they can easily use it as a reference for the building instructions. And then, as Jen mentioned earlier, robotics is part of STEAM integration, STEAM learning. And in my book, I clearly include several STEAM topics like this one, gears, that the students can use as a supplement for their academic subjects. And then, as you can see, the building instructions in the book are in full color and with the big pictures, so they can easily follow the building of any model or any project step by step. Okay. The programming, just like the building instruction, is in full color and also step by step with specific inputs in its parts and the instruction on how to use them. And each lesson has web links. These web links are helpful if the kid or the student wants to do some exploratory or further readings. And of course, since these are internet links, this should be accessed with the internet. Okay. I also include a reflection box because from my experience as a teacher, the students wants to share their knowledge, their experience in each lesson. So providing them with a reflection box gives them, some kind of personal learning experience. And this is a proven fact from my experience as a teacher. As you can see, exercises are not limited to text-based activities. Most of them are with pictures, which also helps in engaging the students. Mabilis lang para all right. And again, STEAM integration, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So here I ask my students to draw or sketch their creation, which is very helpful for children who are who loves to draw. And for those who don't want to draw, it will push them to, practice at least to illustrate and draw. And the questions I presented are all based on critical thinking and problem solving skills. I use a few questions that will yield an answer of yes or no. I want them to explain their learning in their own words. And as you know, as a teacher, you can easily check the learning if the student can explain his own words in those questions. Okay. All right. Some challenges and activities are also based on competition ready, competition ready scheme like this one. Some competitions that we do in the Philippine Robotics Olympiad and the World Robot Olympiad are using placemats or tarpaulins with black lines. So I'm using them to ready the students in different competitions also. Again, the art of questioning. I want my students to explain and answer using their own words. I don't want identification and fill in the blanks. I prefer this type of questions. I know some students find this very hard, but as children, we need to push them to think and develop themselves through explaining and through discerning. And the unique part of my book is using a thematic approach. I used space challenge as the last part activity for my books because I understand that space exploration is something that is, wow, that gives the student some kind of wow feeling. Just like Jen mentioned about the JPL and the NASA websites, that's exciting for kids, especially young children. So this is the map, the pictures, and the models I used with the book. With the virtual robotics, there will be a virtual playing field that is themed with space challenge or Mars, something like that. Okay. Again, these are some pictures and guides for the space challenge. And I always end my book with some words of encouragement for them to pursue learning beyond the book. So, congratulations, you finished Discovery Builder. Continue with exploration. See? So, that's my book. Thank you very much. Good morning. Okay.
Thank you very much, Gilbs. As usual,
Thanks.
very action-packed and really future forward tayo with the books also. As
That's very
mentioned,
important.
yes,
Yeah.
by Sir Gilbs, that we know that the science program, the space program education program has recently been approved by the Congress. So we
Yeah.
will need space education foundation in our schools, both private
That's
and
true.
public
That's true.
schools.
That's
So
true.
that's really in preparation. So that is really the series that he is introducing. All right, then let's move on to the.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you.
Gil. Please stay for
Yeah.
the panel discussion. Let's
All
move
right.
on to the next tandem speakers or the tandem authors that we have. We have two authors. Our first is a master robotics trainer. Is a Department of Science and Technology Science Education Institute scholarship grantee at the Philippine Normal University. He's the coach of Benigno Knights, the Benigno Ninoy S. Aquino High School robotics team in the division of Makati, who won awards in various local competitions such as the Philippine Robotics Olympiad in Tagisang Robotics and represented the country in the World Robot Olympiad. He attended trainings in Lego Mindstorms EV3 conducted by the developer of the new Lego Mindstorm kit in Singapore in 2013. And significantly, he is one of the robotics trainers in the division of Makati. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Mr. Edwin Heniel Engana.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Yes, now well, that's okay. And do we introduce Norman, or he has another also a segue?
Later, ma'am,
Okay,
after
so
my
let's
presentation.
introduce, let's all welcome Mr. Edwin Heniel Engana.
Again, good morning. Can you now see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so like what I've said yesterday in our school's webinar, the 2020-2021 academic year remains in a state of limbo because of COVID-19. Still, we need to be positive amidst this global pandemic. So instead of dwelling on the negative side of today's world scenario, let us use this as an opportunity to enhance the scientific skills, including the robotic skills of our students. To be enrolled in the Philippine Robotics Academy or robotics programs of Felta Multimedia Incorporated is a good option to enhance the robotic skills of the students. Part of the robotics programs of Felta is the PRA ebook series. So my co-authors have already mentioned the books from kinder to grade 8. So our part, me and my co-author, Sir Norman Talavera, books on grade 9 to grade 12. Okay, for grade 9, it's robotics converging technology, and grade 10 is robotics defining the future. The books are focused on the grade 9 and grade 10 books are focused on the Lego Mindstorms education core set and expansion set, hardware and software. It covers the lessons on the EV3 Lego pieces and the improved sensors and how they can be used in building a sturdy and dynamic robot. These books also include robot models with its building instructions for the students to feel the adrenaline of engineering a robot. For the unit 1 of the book, it's focused on revisiting the EV3 sensors, robotics building, and programming. And for unit 2 to 4, um, the units are focused on the advanced programming, like on unit 2, the advanced line programming programs, which include the following lessons: color sensor calibration, Boolean line following, the two-stage line following, kasi ang alam lang ng mga bata ay yung the simple line following programs. But here in the book, there's a two-stage line following lesson, the basic proportional line following, um, smoothing out the line with multiple options. And for the next unit, continuation of the advanced line following programs to sensors with caseware, proportional integral derivative, to color sensors, line following, squaring or aligning on a line, and there's also a lesson of proportional control for ultrasonic sensor, menu and sequencer, like ultrasonic proportional control, menu versus basic sequence, then updatable menu versus standard menu and basic sequencer. And for the last unit, um, it is focused on data operations and advanced programming blocks, like arrange operation block, movement according to color value, finding the total value in array, random block in array, display detected colors. So at the end of every unit, there's a performance task to apply what the students have learned in the unit. For the assessment part, Felta utilized the infrastructure of Microsoft Forms for online assessment of the students. And then for the teachers, Felta included in the package the PowerPoint presentation of all the lessons in the book or books, which the teachers can use in their face-to-face or online teaching. The important working features and tools of the EV3 software are discussed also in these books. This is to equip the users with the necessary advanced programming skills in EV3. With that, it will quench their imagination in robotics. In fact, a bigger part of this book is about programming. Now, why do we need to ignite the robotics interest or enhance the robotic skills of our students? Because when they go in the industry or even when they go to college, most of the things that they will encounter are already a form of robotics or digitized. So we don't want the students to be left behind because of this pandemic. So mas magiging magandang tool ang robotics para maiwasan ang anxiety and mental health issue of our students by being involved and busy with robotics. Okay, for the grade 11 and grade 12 books, okay, here's my co-author, Sir Norman Talavera.
Hello,
Sir
good morning.
Norman,
Hello, good morning. Can you hear
good
me?
morning. Yes, sir.
Okay, move the slide, sir. Okay, since Sir Edwin already explained all the contents and the structure of the book, so I will not explain that anymore. So our book for grade 11, the industrial technology, focuses more on the advanced programming for EB3. So we focus on multiple use of the sensors. So we are not only using one particular sensor, but lots of sensors. Then we use the different multiple options, the case statement, and in this book you will learn variables, and then arrays, then file access block, all difficult programming elements were discussed here, and it also um, explains the migration of object-oriented programming to robot C graphical language, and we focus more on the graphical language here. So we tried to explain the difference between the EV3G and then the robot C. So how they are related and what are the limitations. And also, since the students are exposed to robotsy graphical language here, so the students learn the graphical, but not totally graphical, but has text that will explain the the functionality of each syntax. And for grade 12, next slides. Okay, for grade 12, okay, since the mode of robot C programming, it has three modes. One is the graphical that is discussed in grade 11. And we have here the natural language. So I believe this natural language is more on coding. So the students are exposed to C-based programming. And the structure is almost similar to the pure C, but it uses words or very simple word like move, like forward, that you can find in the pure C base. Now, I also discuss here about the control structure, the if statements, um, the variable also, and then the file access block. And on the later part of the book, we discuss about the C, the pure robot C language. So in this part, okay, the students are exposed to the real C programming. So we tried uh, uh, to integrate lots of activities here for them to be familiarized with the language, and of course to expose them to the real world, because once these students uh, uh, once they are equipped with this language, I think they are now ready to face the real world. And you can see also lots of activities here. So we want them to learn more and to be exposed to the different scenarios. Okay, I think that's all. That's the content of my book. Okay, thank you very much. So if you want to to learn more about programming, you can get all these books from Felta Multimedia Incorporated. So you have also the virtual robotics. If you want to apply your skill without the physical robot, you can use this book. You can follow along and then try to build your robot. If you want to make a complicated or complex robot, you can try to use it using the LDD, then try to import that or export that to the virtual robot. Then that's it. The simple as that. Thank you, Ma'am
Can I?
Eileen.
Yes. We skipped the introduction of Norman. He went right away to
It's okay,
the.
ma'am.
So now I have to introduce you. All right. Well, Norman, who just presented, is an author, educator, a master robotics teacher, and has a master's degree in information technology from System Technology Institute in Quezon City, and has 20 years or probably more, 20 years of experience as an instructor and associate professor teaching Windows productivity tools, PC troubleshooting, Adobe Photoshop, Flash animation, networking, and web programming. He is the robotics coach of Nemesio Ayabut Elementary School and also the pioneer in the elementary robotics in Makati schools. He is from Department of Education, Division of Makati. So Norman, nauna yung
Thank you, ma'am.
nauna yung spiel, but we're proud
Okay,
that
ma'am.
both of you are from the Department of Education, Division of Makati. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And now
Thank you, ma'am.
let's call back in all our authors for any questions that we may answer from the audience. So, Miss Jenny Lou,
Hello, mga friendship.
mga
Hi,
Hello,
friends,
ma'am.
Jen.
Na-miss ko tuloy bigla, nakakalungkot naman. Kailan kaya
uh, makikita mo ulit sila. They will all be there at the Philippine Robotics Academy.
Oo nga, ma'am.
Philippine Robotics Olympiad, rather, 19th Philippine Robotics Olympiad. Hello,
Excited
Annalie.
ako.
Okay,
Hi,
so
madam.
right, let's have some questions. My first,
Yes, sir.
actually, it's not a question that I have, but actually for the information of our audience, for our viewers, Philippine Robotics Academy is for the private schools, and
Mhm.
this is for integration in their TLE. Am I right, Rox? For
Yep,
TLE, and it can also be a
TLE and
standalone,
computer,
yes, a standalone
TLE
subject.
computer and science.
Yes, TLE, computer, and science. However, for those of us from the Department of Education, do not worry. We have separate modules for DepEd, right? So we have that in already prepared. We're just waiting for the rolling out of the robotics technology program for the Department of Education. So don't worry. So these are just this is for information of everyone. But this is really for the Philippine Robotics Academy schools implementation at the moment. Okay, so Miss Jen, do you have any questions?
Sasalita na naman ako, nakamute pala. Okay, so, so far, dahil tayo ay may mga tao sa madlang people, nagjo-join na tuloy sila ng Sir Wax, ayan, nagagalit na. I-accept mo daw sila agad-agad kasi magtatanong sila.
Oo,
Okay. Oo. So, meron ba tayong, ano nga ulit ang activity natin? Sa October ba, ma'am? May physical launch ba yan?
Yes. Actually, well, they can see the books, they can see the actual physical books, but later on we will show the ebook version. So this will
Apa.
be available for the Philippine Robotics Academy.
Oo.
And for the information of our audience, unfortunately, you cannot avail of the books on an individual basis, though it's not for sale. Maraming bumibili, even other countries
Tama.
asking. Hindi po siya for sale. It is part of the program inclusion if the school is in the Philippine Robotics Academy. So ito po ay part of the inclusions po. Hindi siya
Oo.
pwedeng bilhin na on its own. Kasi
Oo.
program po siya, program.
Yan yung maganda, ma'am. We recommend that every region sana or like more than one sa isang region na makapag-establish ng PRA kasi we have to have like kumbaga satellite sa bawat region kasi ang hirap din magastos din mag-travel kasi. Pero
Yes.
we have stations, mas madali yung kumbaga para magtatanim na naman ako. Para tayo nagtatanim ng halaman na madaling mag-propagate kapag meron kang mother plant sa kada region kasi mas madali yung access. And then, ito namang mga friendly experts na nandito ay super friendly naman. Pwede ko to ibala sa kanyang tong mga to kahit ngayon ko lang sabihin, Sir Gibbs, discuss na. Wala kang problema. Diba? So, yan, mga expert yan, Diyos ko po. Kami
Okay.
malapit
So
lang ang
actually, in line with your comment, Miss Jen, we there are some DepEd divisions. Okay, actually, DepEd Bataan is the first.
Mhm.
They have already integrated the robotics program in their curriculum. So dapat po yung mga divisions na nakikinig ngayon is to ask their division superintendent if they can already integrate. Like DepEd Makati
Mm.
definitely should already because we already have the resources available. Para when we do the rollout nationwide, at least nauna na po yung mga division nyo. Kasi po,
Mm.
na-delay lang konti dahil nga din sa sa nangyayari na sa atin ngayon. But we
Opo.
are ready to roll out in actually not just the region but the whole nationwide po. So we will
Opo. And also, yung aking partner universities, kinonvince ko talaga sila. So, sa bagong tayo nilang building, binibigay na nila yung isang room. Sabi ko, gawin nyo ng dalawa kasi hindi kasya yung PRA
kailangan
natin sa isang room, di ba ma'am?
ang
Kailangan at
requirement
least
kasi at least
dalawa.
50, dalawang classroom 54 square
Mm-mm.
meters ang requirement to set up a
Mm-mm.
robotics laboratory. Right. Do we have
Yan.
okay, if we have do we have questions on the floor?
Ah, so far, sabi nila, thank you. So powerful. Wow,
So
powerful.
powerful, right? All right.
Available din po ba yung ating mga books sa National Bookstore or
Ay
sa
po.
ibang
Hindi
bookstore?
nakikinig si Sir Wax. Hindi
Oo
nakikinig.
nga.
Oh,
Hindi
Sabi
nga.
ko na nga,
Mag-join
Busy
ka.
director eh.
available.
ah,
Oo, hindi siya
nagpalit ako.
available.
Nagpalit
Doon
ako
sa
ng
mga
headset eh.
oo. Kailangan lang po,
Okay.
doon po lang sa schools. At
Ah,
Mm-mm.
nako, meron din kaming nakita mga nagbe-bent. Alam niyo naman, binibenta po
Oo.
sa online yung mga books.
oh,
Sabi namin, bawal po yan. Kasi po, copyrighted po na ating mga authors. So meron kaming nakita
ah,
mga parents na binibenta ho online yung mga libro. At wag po natin gawin yon kasi let's respect the
bawal.
copyright of our authors. Pinaghirapan po
Tama.
nila ilang taon po masulat po yan.
Correct.
Actually,
So,
just to
wala
add,
rin naman po kayong kits
Ayan.
ni
Oh, hindi niya na magagawa. Ayan, Sir Gibbs, ano po yan?
just to add, the program is not about the books alone. It's the
Yes.
Philippine Robotics Academy. So inclusions of the program is the book, the kits, the training, and other contents. So if you
Mm-mm.
acquire the book without the other parts of the program, it's basically useless. All right. So
Tama.
the teachers and the parents need to understand that scenario. That's the reason why PRA is a subscribed program from Felta for the school.
Mm,
Ganon.
okay.
Oh, very well said.
Galing.
That's right. Kaya,
Oo.
that's why we will repeat the video kasi kanina si Sir
Oh,
Wax
Oo nga.
hindi niya nakita, hindi niya napakinggan, hindi niya tingnan na, hindi niya message namin siya na walang sound, walang sound. Paunawa
Oo.
po at medyo
Pasensya na po
ah,
nag-low yung aking player.
kaya
Oo.
nag-daydream yung
Gumigibap.
ating director kanina. So,
Gumigibap na yung mga device kasi, madam.
Oo.
Kaya nyo na lang kapalit tong
okay,
amin.
so
Ako
may
nga
we ask
minsan
all our
nagsasalita.
authors if you have any final comments before we proceed with the demonstration of the ebooks, a showing of the video and the demonstration of the ebooks. Let's start by, ano na lang, Sir Norman na, pabaliktad tayo. Sir Norman,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you
Hello.
have any message for us as we proceed to the demonstration of the ebooks?
Um, for those who are out there, so don't waste your time. I want you to use your time, especially this time of pandemic. So try to maximize your time. Um, Learn all the um, all about robotics, and you can You can ask Felten Multimedia for this module and for these books, and try to use the virtual robotics kits. Then so um, use your skills in programming. So that's it.
All right. Okay, Sir Edwin, any messages
Well,
to our viewers?
like what I've said earlier, use this time to learn and enhance our robotic skills. That's all, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sir Gibbs?
Xerox mo na. Okay. All right. So just like what I mentioned earlier, guys, to the teachers and parents who are listening, um, robotics education in the Philippines is a broad spectrum. We have competitions every year. The development of learning is not only robotics but STEM. We should not stop. We should not stop. So what we did with Felta is to change the platform from hands-on book to virtual. So para tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung learning ng bata. So if the kids are joining our robotics competitions, they will continue learning this year and continue to join whenever we start again our robotics competition. Walang mawawala. Because with virtual robotics, it's basically the same. Naging virtual lang. All right, parents, teachers, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sir Gibbs. Sir Rox?
Yep. So I hope that this pandemic, we should have a different mindset. Robotics is going to be there. It's not a fad, and we all know we have the so-called Internet of Things. Sooner or later, devices will be controlled remotely using robotics technology. So I hope that we start learning robotics at an early age so that we won't be left behind by other countries. Thank you very much.
Very good, very well said. And even Ed Central has mentioned that we really need to embrace now, as you know, the topic is embracing STEM because we don't want to be left behind. We really have to catch up with our more developed the other Southeast Asian countries. All right, now the video is ready with audio. Let's play it before we do the launch and the demonstration of the ebooks. Okay, Annalyn, please take it away.
I am Rachel. I'm Rosin Basbas. I am Matt Edison C. Onya. I am Jasmine Tan. And I am a proud member of the Michaelian Robotics Club. Before I joined the club, I always thought the robotics is too complicated for me. I used to believe that this is for genius persons only. When I joined, I realized that it isn't that hard if you just listen to the instructions well. I remember our first session here. My chums and I didn't want to go home until we finished building our first robot. It was so delightful to see our robot moving. Although it's not that good compared to others, we were still proud to say, we made that. Perhaps robotics is not for genius persons only. Aside from the knowledge benefit, we also got to meet new friends in the club. We were never serious and bored. We were always having fun, and that's the best part of it. On my first day, they told me, "This is the most fun club in school." And now, I know that they weren't lying. I've always thought that robotics is not that interesting. During our first meeting, I was just sitting in there, thinking that I didn't make the right choice, the right club that suits me. But then, as days passed, I realized that I can be great like others. In fact, I mostly enjoy the building part. So, with my building skills, Miss Maranan chose me to be the builder of our team, which was great because I have the opportunity to join the Robotics Olympiad. And as of now, we're preparing for our next competition that will be held in February. I can truly say that I will treasure these experiences through the rest of my life.
What I can say about robotics is that it is one of the most fun activities I've ever experienced. I participated in this competition called FLL, where we built a robot based on the theme Senior Solutions. The aim was to build a robot that would help elders. It was a long, nerve wracking brainstorming, but in the end, we decided to build a robot that would help seniors carry their baggage. It featured a basket that would carry the stuff and GPS that could help seniors find their things. It could follow you wherever you go. We didn't win, but that experience gave me a lesson, and it is that you can program your life for the better.
I joined the robotics club only this year. In that short time, I've already experienced a lot of things here. Ma'am Carla teaches us members a lot of things, from building to programming. It's always fun to learn from her. Most of all, I get to meet students from other year levels and be friends with them. We build robots together. To me, that is the most exciting part of being a member of this club. We have unity, and here we are one.
My experience in teaching robotics has always been fun. My students are always excited to program and build their robots. And robotics teach them the four important skills of the 21st century: creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. Robotics also enhances their intuitive mind, and the students surprise me with their out of the box solution in regards to the problems that I throw them.
All right. That is the okay. So now they now understand the program of the
Yes.
Philippine Robotics Academy. And so now we have a picture of the full picture of what it is. And at this point, we are ready to show you that we have now converted the Philippine Robotics Academy books into e-books and also robot simulation for the module. So the students can now build simulated robots and answer and to build their simulated robots. So take it away, Miss Annalyn.
All right. All right. So, good morning, everyone. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our dear authors. Thank you so much for joining us today. This COVID-19 pandemic helped us to appreciate more and embrace technology. In line with that, Pelto Multimedia team, okay, together with our authors, developed our physical books to ebooks. Now, let me show you the complete title and the complete book that we have from elementary level up to junior high school. So, in line with that, we have for lower grades, from grade 1, we have Work with We the Spark. Then we have Work with We Do Ignite for grade 2. Then we also have Work with We Do Flame for grade 3. Then we also have the Robot in Today's Word Blaze, that is for grade 4. Then we have Robot in Today's Word Wildfire, that is for grade 5. And then for grade 6, we have Robotics Discovery Builder, that is under Space Challenge Mission included. Then for grade 7, we have Robotics Exploration Builder EV3, wherein it's included the Space Challenge missions. Then we also have Robotics Achievement Builder. Included is a Space Challenge missions as well. So it's a continuity book. Plus, we also have Robotics and Beyond defining the picture for a higher grade. Then we also have Robotics Converging Technologies. And we also have Robotics Industrial Technology. All right, so as you can see, plus we also have Robotics in the Age of New Technology. So as you can see, we have their complete title for all grade level. So the Philippine Robotics Academy program caters grade level from grade 1 up to grade 12. Now, let me show you a live demonstration on how we can access the developed and created ebooks for Philippine Robotics Academy program. Right, so as you can see, I have here a sample ebook. The special picture about with this ebook is it comes with a special application wherein we can directly access the Lego Digital Designer application, wherein we can still continue our objectives, wherein the student needs to create and design the robots. And then another thing, all right, since most of the student nowadays, they have different devices that they can use for their remote learning setup. Okay, we created a special picture wherein we'll be giving different options. Like in option 1, we can use a scan QR code for them to easily access the robot instruction from Lego Digital Designer application. So typically, we can use the option 1 if the student are using their mobile devices. And then second option is we also embedded a directed link to our ebooks for those device like computer and laptop. So there are options on how they can enjoy the ebooks. Then right after that, let me show you a live demonstration on how we can access the book. So technically, let me show you first the robot in today's word, Wildfire. Let me show you the cover. All right, so this robot in today's word, Wildfire book is designed for grade 5. So as you can see on its side, we have here a complete chapter in order for us to accomplish the subject matter for this book designed for grade 5. Now, let me show you a sample lessons that we can enjoy using this ebook. For example, in lesson 4, the given topic is all about the electronic components embedded in the EB3 core set. What are those? EB3 brick, sensors, and motors. So what would be the objective of this lesson? Let me show you again the objectives. So technically, our objective for this certain topic is for us to explain the component of the robot and discuss how the robot will perform their functions using this electronic component. Then right afterwards, our main objective here is for the student to understand the importance of each component in order for us to accomplish a certain task. So as you can see, we have here a complete lineup or a complete process on how we will do a certain lesson. So we have here the electronic components. Like at first, we have the EB3 brick at glance, wherein this intelligent brick serves as the brain of our robot. Plus, It also comes with the sensors. Okay, but technically, what would be the important functions that we need to understand using the intelligent brick? So as you can see, we have here output ports that correspond to letters. We use that for motors, and our motors are in charge for the robot movement. Then we also have the input ports, okay, that is associated with number ports. All right, let's say that the topic is all about these electronic components. In order for us to appreciate more, okay, and for us to see the complete picture of this certain pieces, the special picture of this ebook is we embedded the Lego Digital Designer application, wherein we can see the complete picture of this electronic components. Plus, it will also give us, okay, the chance to create and design robot. Now, let me show you the link for the application. Right. So this is the interface of the Lego Digital Designer application that we are using. So as you can see, that is the interface. Serves as the working space wherein we're going to create and design our robot. As you can see in the side, we have here the toolbar wherein we can access all the materials that we can enjoy. For the good thing about with this application is it comes with a huge, okay, numbers of Lego pieces that we can enjoy for our certain activity. But technically, in order for us to control the brick palette or the brick library, we have here a set options wherein we simply need to type in of what would be the certain piece that we need to use. For as you can see, we have uh, ebooks that is using Lego Education VD 2.0, and we have ebooks that is using Lego Education EB3. So let's type in the serial code for Lego Education EB3, since this ebooks is designed for grade 5. So EB3, and technically it will lead us to see the different electronic components embedded in the activity. So we're talking about the electronic components. So let's drag in all the pieces that we need for that certain activity. So let's drag in the intelligent brick that serves as the brain of the robot. Then as you can see, we have here the input ports that we are discussing a while ago. So letter ports are designed for the motors. And then the number ports are designed for sensors. So we call this the brain of the robot, where we will be connecting all the electronic components in here. So what are those electronic components? Let's begin first with the servo motors. Okay, the motors are the one in charge in order for us to make our robot move. All right. Then what are the other electronic components that is embedded in the lesson? We need to tap as well the sensors. So first is we have here the touch sensors that we can use in three different commands: press, release, and bump. Then next to that, we also have the color sensor. This color sensor can be used in three different modes as well. So we have here the reflected light, the color, the detection of colors, and ambient light. All right. The next to that is we also have the ultrasonic sensor. This ultrasonic sensor serves as the eye of our robot. We usually use the sensor in order for us to measure distance. All right. Then another sensor is the gyroscope sensor, in order for us to see the angle position of our robot. So if we have this special application embedded in our ebooks, technically the student will appreciate more, and this application will ignite their excitement, because even we use this application for a remote learning setup, technically they will still be having a connection with the EB3 core set. All right. And the thing is, we can actually build and still follow our objective wherein we wish to enhance their engineering skills. So let's say that we understand already the importance of these electronic components. We can create a certain design in order for us to execute a certain topic. Okay, typically in robotics, we started with the design of a driving-based robot. This is a very good design, for we can easily attach our sensors. So let's say that we have here an educator set robot. Okay, so as you can see, it's a pre-built robot. But the special feature about with our ebooks is we will be adding the links already in order for them to do this certain activity. Okay. And for your information, in order for you to view this and for you to get the access, we are using a Catobia reader. Okay. It's a special application as well. So the thing is, even we'll be doing a remote learning setup today, okay, it will take time if the student will be the one to pick a certain pieces. As you can see on its brick library, we have here a huge selection of Lego pieces. The good thing about with this application is we can embed and input the complete instruction of this certain design by simply clicking the instruction. Okay, there you go. So technically, it will automatically imported to the application. So as you can see, the thing about with this educator robot design, it comes with complete instruction from step 1 up to step 65. Okay, so let's say that we already have the complete instruction for a certain design. The student will easily enjoy the building activity for the complete instruction for a certain design is already prepared for all the inserted topic on the ebooks. For example, on how we gonna start with that certain activity. Let's do the step 1. All right, so what we need to do is go to the interface of the working space. We're in for that certain step 1 and step 2, we need to get a large motor and a peg. So technically, we have there the complete instructions. So right after we see the instruction, we need to go to the working space in order for us to do it. So simply exit, then go to the embedded interface. Right. So that's the thing. So how to delete? That's how you do it. Then let's grab a motor. I'm just showing you a glimpse on how we gonna do coding using the application. Okay, that's how you do it by simply controlling it using the LED controls. And then a peg, and then controls, and then keypad key in order for you to connect it properly. Then right after that, okay. So as you can see, the good thing about with the developed and created ebooks, this is kind of interactive ebooks for still the building activity is in there. All right. Then right after that, the good thing about with the Philippine Robotics Academy program, since we cannot meet our student face to face, we also right now we are also using a virtual robotics kit application wherein we can still practice all the created code and design. So at this moment, let me show you the virtual robotics toolkit application. And so as you can see, we are here on the interface of the virtual robotics toolkit wherein we are using here three different environment. Let me show you the virtual robotics toolkit simulation window. We're in, let's say that we are done already with building. Okay, so it's a continuation of the program wherein we can code and we can simulate the created code. So as you can see, we have here the EB3 simulation application wherein we're gonna do coding. So this is the place or the environment wherein we're gonna do program. For example, let me show you a very short coding demonstration. Okay, let's say that we want the robot to move forward. So technically, this is the working space wherein we're gonna do coding. As you can see, we have here sets of blocks or palettes. So let's drag in the move steering block from the action blocks group, and then configure. So how we gonna do configure? The mode of operation. Okay, let's make our robot on for a second. So as you can see, we have here different mode of operation. So technically, it's up to the given task or challenge. So let's configure more and let's make our robot move forward for 3 seconds. Right, there you go. Then right afterwards, we can also open the EB3, the Virtual Robotics Toolkit simulation, wherein we can test and run our robot. So the good thing about with the Philippine Robotics Academy program, the complete content and the complete objectives on how we can execute this robotics program is still in there. All right, we have the lessons that is embedded or integrated with science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Plus, we have the building activity using the Lego Digital Designer application, and we also have the Virtual Robotics Toolkit application wherein we can run and test our robot. As you can see, when we go to the simulation app environment, we already have there the game map wherein we can run and test our robot. And we also have there the created robot design. Okay, so technically, we can import from the Lego Digital Designer application to BRT. So the complete objective for this robotics program is still in there. Now let me show you on how we can connect this. So let's run our program and then run the simulation application. And automatically the robot will move according to the created code. So these are the complete picture of what do we have in Philippine Robotics Academy by Delta Multimedia Incorporated. Now let me, before I end this live demonstration, let me show you first a very short ABP video. Thank you so much.
Galing.
Okay, just for a moment. Okay, let me show you a video.
Share mo na, ma'am.
Oh, share mo, pa-share. Hindi namin makita.
Yung EB3 ba yan?
Okay, just for a moment. Let me fix. Okay, just for a moment. Let me fix. Well, yeah, we hope that everyone enjoyed the demonstration. And it is, you can use, I don't know, maybe you can mention what are the minimum requirements for the phone. They can use the phone or their laptop. So for the ebooks, I think you should mention that. Uh-huh. All right. So technically, the ebooks is developed wherein they can actually access this using their mobile phones and even other devices. Yes. What
They have to,
operating system do they need?
oh,
Technically, ma'am, we don't need necessary device requirement for our team develop the ebook wherein they can directly access this using their mobile phones or other devices. That's the good thing about with this ebook.
they have
Yeah.
to download Kotobi
But
reader
the,
sa kanilang mga
yeah,
cellphone.
yes, yeah, yes.
Oh,
So that's the thing. They just simply need to download category reader in order for them to open their ebooks.
okay.
And then they will have to have an account, no? With so they can access. Tama kasi may lock-in feature yata. IP ano ba 'yan? IP based yung access or multiple devices?
IP-based siya. Multiple devices po daw. Mali sagot ko. Multiple devices. Oo. But
May account.
Annalyn. Actually, ma'am, at first we developed this using IP, but since most of the school, their technical issue is most of the student only have their devices. That's why our IT team also developed that they can simply use their mobile devices. That's why, as you can see from the presentation a while ago, it comes with two different option. By other devices, they can use yung QR code, and then for other devices, they can directly access via link.
Now, I think another question would be, for example, students have mobile phones and laptops. Can they use the ebooks for both?
Yes. Yes, they can.
Yes. So Annalyn. Yes,
Ma'am,
so they can.
they can.
So multiple
Yes,
devices.
definitely, ma'am.
But I think you have to clarify about the account. That means they can only receive. I think you should clarify.
Talking
The link.
about the account po, Pelta IT team po will be the one to set up each account for the Philippine Robotics Academy partner schools. Because
Ay, oo
we'll
nga
be
pala.
designing po the account for annual subscription. So technically, the IT Pelta team will be the one to set up and coordinate to our respective partner schools.
Yes. Bale, we will be conducting the rolling out, so the delivery of the books to the ebooks to the students, right?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Yes.
So
And
again, just to add, these ebooks are PRA, meaning parents cannot buy them readily. It needs to be subscribed by the school. So if
Mm.
yes.
parents who are listening now, who are watching, if you are interested, you write to your school, you tell your
Mhm.
school that there is an alternative for the new normal for your school to
Correct.
have robotics and STEM education. They contact FELTA, and the school will be the one to subscribe from FELTA, and then the students will have it. That's
Okay.
it. No,
Mm-mm.
you cannot just
I
get it or buy it from any other publisher.
question. Paano man pag homeschooled?
For homeschool, there are homeschool organizations that we're working with.
Okay.
Hmm.
So they have to
Okay.
contact like Homeschool Global, and then there's a homeschool association. Or for example, for
Okay.
BGC, these are the printed books. So they know.
Okay, nice. Oo, tama.
Ang ganda ng
Nice.
model natin ah.
Oo nga.
Artistahin.
Siyempre.
Isa pa, isa
Lumalaki
pa,
na
isa pa.
Artistahin,
Yan.
no?
lumalaki
Artista
na mga sa
pala.
mukha ko. Ayan. Okay, so these are the books. Okay, so bababa ko na. All right. Okay, any questions we have for our authors? What are it will be by the way, okay, so the books will have an expiration date. I think
Mm.
that's important
Uh-huh.
for our viewers to
Yes, ma'am.
know that after 1 year, because then you will have to level up to the next book, right? So you
Mhm.
can't get stuck with the one book, and then so your ebook will expire after the school year.
Mm-mm.
Oo, input
Isa
na
lang.
naman ako, input. Bakit may expiration ang daya? Di ba yung mga books namin ay workbooks? Work text
Yeah,
yun
Oo.
eh.
work text.
Sinusulatan yun ng bata, sinasagutan. So after
Opo.
nila gamitin yung book, hindi na pwede next year. Dahil may sagot na yun. It's the same with the ebooks. The same concept applies. Alright?
Yes.
Yeah, good point. Good point, Gil.
Yung bang makikita nila sa Kotobi, kasi yung Kotobi reader, ay yung Kotobi author, you can literally parallel yung design doon eh. So, yun ba yung exact na makikita nila sa book, the same na makikita nila doon sa sa reader? So, yun ba yung exact na makikita nila?
In line with that, ma'am, yes po. Yes po, definitely po. So what do we have in the physical book is same content po on what we have on the developed ebooks.
Okay. So
Very
the
good.
same. Okay, are we going to show na the video?
Uh, no, no, that's the a
No,
video
the,
of the. Okay, not yet, not yet.
TV, not yet. Oh.
No, it will be Annalyn. But I think we should spend a little bit. We have a little bit more time to clarify about the ebooks, right? Well,
Oo, kasi
one other thing that we'd like to mention is that the QR code is an option, so you don't have to use the QR code. You can do the option two, which is the actual download. And my question is, how heavy is the storage needed for each book? Annalyn. Kasi, syempre, the phones of the students might be full of pictures or videos already. So how much memory do you need or storage you need?
Ilang MB
Uh-uh.
or GB. Oo.
Depende kasi yun ma'am sa ano depende sa content no, Sir Gibbs, 'di ba? Sir Terms, depende sa ayan ang mga author Madami kasi lalo na yung simulation mabigat.
Mm-mm.
May isa pala akong tanong. 'Di ba kasi sa Kotobi author 'di ba naglagay kayo mga sir ng activity doon? So pag sinagutan kasi nila sa libro katulad nga ng sabi ni Sir Gibbs, nagagamit yung workbook. Kasi when the Kotobi author published material, ebook was shared, ang sagot mo, you can email. You can email the results, no? So, baka mag-expect sila na may babalik na sagot. I mean, yung chechika ni Sir Jibs yung in-emails or something ganon. So, baka i-clear natin kasi baka kasi isipin nila, iba kasi yung Kotobi author is a booklet. It's like buying the book but it's not an LMS na i-check. So, syempre, at dahil yun po yung benefit ng PRA. If you belong to the PRA, you have the network to clarify things and do resourcing and merong support. Yun yung disadvantage ng namimirata or bibili ka ng book na wala kang customer support. Yun yung hindi nga customers community support ang tawag natin sa ating community.
Kaya nga i-exit kaya
yung maganda.
Okay, to answer that, in before pandemic, before the school acquires PRA, we provide them with trainings. Okay?
Yep.
So with this one, it's the same thing. They will have trainings on the use of the ebook and the VRT, and likewise, the teachers are in charge. 'Di ba? Kasi gagamitin ng bata 'yan, yung teachers nila ang magtuturo using the ebook and the VRT. And then the quizzes will be prepared using Microsoft Forms.
Yes.
Tama ba?
Yes,
Sa
tama.
Integrate.
Yun yung clarification na
Yes. So, nasa Microsoft Forms yung mga quizzes, and then pwedeng ipasok yun ng bata sa LMS ng school, and dun yung matchechecka ng teacher. Or Microsoft Forms is actually part of LMS na masasagutan ng teacher, ma-check ng teacher yung gawa ng bata. Yes. Ganun pa rin.
Edwin, I think Edwin has more input and maybe Edwin and Norman can share.
Oo nga. Nahirapan ako magtanong kasi di ko alam yung laman.
Actually, ang MS Form, automatic yun pag nasa ng bata. Yung result noon, automatic nasa worksheet.
May result.
May result agad. So, hindi na kailangan mag-check ni teacher. So, walang problema masyado doon.
Except
so we're using the
and ma'am, depende sa setting na kung yung may setting sila na mag-email yung Microsoft Forms sa estudyante after taking the test. And then the teachers can download, yun na nga yung sasabi ni Sir Norman, the Microsoft, the Excel form nung pinakasummary ng results.
Yes.
Tama.
Correct.
Rox, how about your experience for MS Teams? Because that's our platform. That will be our tool, our training tool. It'll be Microsoft Teams.
Yung kasing forms, it's a separate, although it's part of the MS365, pwede po siyang i-deploy separately. So, pwede po may QR code na i-scan yung bata kapag gamit niya ang cellphone at lalabas ngayon yung quiz dun mismo sa cellphone niya. Dun niya sasagutan. Pagka right after na masagutan niya, pag kindik niya yung submit, a few seconds lang po makikita niya na agad yung score niya. That's how it works.
Pero yung training, sabi natin, training, Rox, in training natin.
In terms of training, we highly recommend the schools to subscribe to S365 kasi ito po yung ating platform kung saan i-deploy o ipapakita o i-share yung ating virtual robotics at saka yung EV3 Mindstorm. So doon po tayo magpapangita lahat sa MS365 para po lahat ng mga estudyante, lahat ng mga bat ay nasa iisang classroom para
Mm-mm.
makita po nila lahat kung ano yung activities na tinuturo ni teacher. Yun po ang kagandahan niyan.
So,
Okay.
bali Mamay, meron tayong three means kasi. So, the Kotobi reader is how you view the ebook na diniscuss ni Ma'am Ana. And then, kung wala silang Office 365, which is another subscription, but that is, I think, most of the, yung si DepEd kasi meron na. The only thing that's gonna be different is yung mga homeschooled at saka yung private na walang subscription. Pero, kahit wala silang subscription, they can email. Yun nga lang, medyo matrabaho kung madami. Pero yung maraming option. So, kaya nga mas maganda na kung part na nga sila ng PRA, may support. Technical support is really important, especially in this setup natin na new normal.
Yes.
Ma'am Jen, clarify ko lang. Even without the subscription of Office 365, they can
Free.
use the Microsoft Form.
Opo, yeah.
But iba pa rin kasi alam naman natin kapag ka may subscription ka, yung full version ng mga
Oo.
applications na yun, alam mo, enjoy mo. But they can use the Microsoft Forms.
Mm. Tsaka pwede magdagdag yung yung teacher sa side naman niya kung gusto niya namang mag-integrate ng content. Kasi yung sa atin yun na mismo yung sa Lego Education version. Iba pa rin yung sabi ko nga kanina, you have to integrate the content. Kasi kung hindi naman lahat ng nagtuturo ay robotics teacher, merong science teacher, so pero robotics platform na matutulungan natin through the PRA. So it's really a collaborative effort. Sabi ko nga kanina, no man is an island. We have to find connections and we have to ask the people who knows what they're doing na already, which is itong mga friendship ko na nandiyan sa screen. Tandaan nyo na yan, wanted na yung mga yan. Lalagyan ko na yan ng para sure ako, confident ako na talagang pag itong mga authors na to ka-author talaga.
Ka-author.
Oo.
They're really
Galing
the best in the
talaga.
field. Yeah, they're really the best in the field. And ang maganda kasi is that we are teaching really from rocks, di ba, grade 1 up to grade 12. So yung learnings nila, as mentioned by all our authors, are really relevant, especially that we want our graduates not to be left behind, as Sir Norman has also mentioned. Walang maiwan regarding the technology, STEM learning natin.
Correct.
Sabi nga ni Peter, industry grade ang dapat natin, industry grade
Industry
lagi ang
grade.
mahal.
Yes, ang ating mga grad. Hindi lang line tracing ang robotics. May mga nakikita ko ngayon na nasa virtual. Line tracing lang. Okay, Diyos ko, kaya-kaya ng
Grade
kaya ituro yan ng ilang araw lang. Alright? So, hindi lang line tracing po ang tinuturo natin. Okay, now may we ask all our authors to, give our farewell messages to our viewers because it's our time check is 11:44.
11:44.
So, may we start first. Start first with Annalyn. Annalyn.
Thank you so much, okay, for having me today for the ebook live demo. So just to sum up, for this Philippine Robotics Academy program, so we innovate our solution in order for us to continue our program for this Philippine Robotics Academy program, even in our remote learning setup. So I hope that we continue learning. Good luck to everybody, and God bless and keep safe. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now let's ask Sir Edwin. Any words?
Okay, to parents and students, try nyo yung robotics program sa PhilTA para ma-develop ang robotic skills nyo.
Okay, Sir Gilbs. Sir Gilbs.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the pandemic is not a threat. This is actually a opportunity. Well, it's a threat, but it's an opportunity for us to evolve and learn beyond the challenges. So again, for parents, talk to your teachers, tell your teachers to subscribe to the Philippine Robotics Academy so that your children will have robotics education that is safe and effective. Thank you very
Thank you,
much. Good morning.
Sir Norman. Sir Norman, you're in
Yes,
mute. You're
Naka-mute
in
ka,
mute.
sir.
Right. Sir Norman, yes.
yan, okay na.
Okay, once again, sa mga parents po, sana wag po sayangin ang panahon. Kailangan merong matutunan mga bata sa panahon ngayon. So, sabi nga nila, time is gold. Okay. So, sana po ay tangkilikin natin ang mga programs na ino-offer ng Celta Multimedia. So, sigurado po na ang bata ay matututo at gagraduate ng napakagaling at pwede silang gamitin ng bansa. Yun na po.
Okay. And then lastly, Sir Rox. Sir Rox.
Click and subscribe to PRA. Hindi po nagtatapos sa ebook ang PRA. Meron pa po tayong Philippine Robotics Olympiad. So, sa mga batang nag-participate na dito sa Philippine Robotics Olympiad, masasabi po nilang it's life-changing. Maraming salamat.
Great. Okay, and then I just want to also say as my farewell that we are offering also the I Create Cafe Manila is offering Philippine Robotics Olympiad tutorials for the upcoming World Robot Olympiad to be hosted by Canada. So it will be we have actually two events. One is the Robot Virtual Challenge, and this will happen in October, and one on November. This is the World Robot Olympiad virtual finals. Okay, Miss Jen?
Ako, ang daming kong gagawin. Dahil nakita ko kayo, masayang-masaya ako. Nakita ko ang aking mga friends. Pero, hindi lang, if this is, everyone in the robotics community we are trying our best to not to let go of the momentum, kasi yung mga bata natin, medyo na-frustrate sila this year, hindi sila makalabas, and they want to see their friends whom they've been seeing for years na while they're competing. Yung iba nga, malungkot kasi kung kailan pa sila senior, tsaka pa sila hindi makaka-compete. But then, let us lift their spirits na kahit naman, we have the academy and we have the group, kahit nag-graduate na sila from the schools, pwede pa rin silang mag-volunteer if we have events or share din sa mga mas bata sa kanilang mga schools or even those that are close to them as friends and family. We encourage everyone to observe din if we get the chance to host nga, Ma'am Mylene, the October event. Where are we going to, ulit? In case matuloy tayo sa October?
Well, it will still be virtual because it seems like
Oo
we're
nga
not
sabi ko
opening
nga
up. But however, the awarding will be done in Manila in the
yan.
Felta Innovation Hub on October 23. So you set the date now, October 23. So
Yes, set the date.
Sir Wax, thank you.
Yes. So I think that will be all for this afternoon. Thank you very much, Felta Multimedia
Morning pa lang
Incorporated.
to.
Yes, mag-go afternoon na, no, for giving us the opportunity to know and learn about the books from Pelta. Okay, yung pong sa robotics natin from Philippine Robotics Academy. Okay? So
And
again, see you next week po for another series po na ating i-discuss.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
teacher
Math
tools.
naman, math. Teacher
Alright,
tools.
thank you very
Ano tayo? For teachers.
Okay.
Ay, good luck sa mga teachers na mag-i-start ngayong week.
Ma'am will be sharing po the created ABP video po for Philippine Robotics Academy and ebooks program po.
Okay.
All right. Okay,
Alright.
let's show the video. Bye. Let's show the video.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sige, go, Ma'am Annalyn. Okay.
Thank you so much for that short video. And let's now have a look at the EV3 expansion, and bye-bye everyone. Okay.
Let's take a minute to talk about the LEGO Mindstorms Education EV3 expansion set. This is, again, one of the new offerings we've got this year with the EV3 production product line. I'm excited about it for a couple reasons. Number one, it's going to be a really good addition to the EV3 core set, and I think everyone is really going to like it. Let's start with how it's kind of the same as we had the NXT resource set. It's going to be something that you're going to be able to add on to what you have with the NXT, but let's talk a minute about the shift LEGO has in the way that we're thinking about these sets, because if you noticed, we're calling this an expansion set, not a resource set. I think the idea that LEGO really wants to get across, that we want to get across, is that you're going to be fine with the core set. If you've got a strong core, you've got a good program to go with, but with this expansion set, you're really going to be able to take that core level and move it up to the next step. You're going to have additional models that you're going to have be able to use in the classroom to teach educational concepts, and it's going to really enhance your program in a lot of ways. You're going to have still about 853 new elements with this expansion set. So along with the core set, you're going to be well over 1,000 different LEGO pieces that you're going to be able to access. You're going to have some very exciting new elements in the set. But let's talk just for a minute about some of the things that the set's really going to give you. If you think about it, the set's going to have actually 6 different size wheels that you could use to build additional models. This is going to be a big improvement over what we had in the past. We've got some exciting new elements that are exclusive to the LEGO Education side of the house. We've got some very cool tread inserts that will go into the track elements to be able to create belts or treaded robots with additional traction. Those are unique and exclusive to the education side. We've got some drop axles that are going to be available. These are some elements that have been available in the Technic line before, but are new to the Mindstorms, which will again enhance the type of robot that you can do and the abilities of that robot. We've got some pivot joints that have been available in the Technic line that are new to the Mindstorms and EV3 line that we think are going to be able to, again, really boost the type of creativity that you can use with this expansion set and take your educational models to the next level. You've seen some of the individual models that we've shown online. Again, please go to legoeducation.us and you can see all 6 of the expansion models. So with the 6 expansion models and the 5 core models with the set, you'll now be able to have instructions for up to 11 different models that LEGO's provided you for your educational core EV3 sets.